On behalf of the management and the staff of the Galway Bay Hotel, I'd like to welcome you all here this morning. We do hope you're enjoying your stay, and we wish you every luck today in Ballybrit. And now here to give us all the winners on today's race meet, Mr. Des Schahill.
I hope you're all winning plenty of money on the first 2 days anyway, back in Mr. Wells' 6 winners, so I hope he'll continue to add to the total today. I think he's been fairly helpful over the last couple of days, although a few of them you probably didn't land on. Plate day is always one of the great features here at Ballybrit, and of course we'll get to the plate later on, but it is, as always, a very difficult one. But later start today than usual, 3 o'clock kick-off. The first race is the novice hurdle, and a couple of nice decent winners in here in Ballyadam-Brook, who's won his last 2 starts in great style at Killarney and previous to that at Sligo, is in very good form. Will go off in front, make all the running, and whether he'll get up the hill or not, I'm not too sure. Big dangers against him is number 2, Final Day. This is a very decent horse of Gordon Elliott's. He thinks an awful lot of him. He's very consistent. He's won 4 of his last 6 starts. And a very useful winner last time at Ballinrobe was Carrickmartin from the Eddie Hartley stable. Tony McCoy will be on board, but maybe he's just stepping up a little bit higher here in this company. Now, Owen Griffin's My Desire, number 7, after running very poorly when very highly thought of in its early part of his career, had a wind operation, and that has brought her about 2 recent successes. So obviously the operation has proved very worthwhile. But again, this one is moving up, I think, a fraction in class. Number 8, Sandy Mount Lady, won a maiden hurdle, just beat its stable companion at Punchestown when hot favourite on that occasion, struggled to win. So I'm going to oppose a few of those in recent good form and go with number 2, Final Day, to get proceedings off, hopefully to a winning start. Gordon Elliott and Paul Carberry in the first. Now, the second race on the card is the 2.5 mile handicap hurdle. Tote obviously sponsoring everything today, and this is a very, very competitive race. A lot of horses here with decent recent form. Number 2, First Beauty, is in very good form, having won 2 of his last 3 starts for the Desi Hughes stable, and young Brian Cooper, a young emerging rider with a very, very valuable £7 claim. Another jockey in tremendous form is Andrew McNamara with the Eddie O'Grady number 3. Guzzle and Go has been running quite consistently, mixing hurdles with chasing. But further down the card, I think the 2 that might dominate this race are number 6, False Evidence from the Jessica Harrington stable, and the very consistent number 11, Novel Investment. Now these 2, Novel Investment was a runaway winner down in Sligo, and just failed then to carry his penalty next time up. But last time was very unlucky, made a bad mistake at a vital stage in Limerick. Tom Doyle rides for John Brazel. I'm just going to side with number 11, Novel Investment, as I think he was a bit unlucky not to score last time. But keep an eye on number 6, False Evidence. This one was a good winner at Leopardstown. Has a bit of an indifferent run of form there. Fell last time at Punchestown, that's some time ago, but about 4 from home and was travelling quite well on that occasion. I think would have played a bit of a part that day. So Jessica Harrington's horse is in great form. But number 11, Novel Investment, very consistent sort in what's a very, very open race, I would suggest as a good each way chance. Now moving on then to the 410, and this is a 3 miler. Handicap hurdle, a big test leading up to the plate. Very consistent sort is number 11, Fairwood Bob. Philip Rothwell trains, and top jockey Paul Townend will be on board. Just a bit unlucky last time and second to Killinall Boy, but running very, very consistently. Another one who caught the eye last time is number 20, Sunwake from the John Paul Gilligan stable. Was a good third to the useful Backer Boy. Gordon Elliott runner. Andrew Lynch rides Sunwake. Has to have a chance right down there towards the bottom of the weights. But the very consistent number 17, and will be a very popular winner should this one go in. You're Busy landed a bit of a gamble at Ballinrobe, and then went on to carry his penalty. Was only touched off in a very competitive handicap hurdle at Killarney when just beaten by Casey Top. Now number 17, You're Busy, is owned by Ronan O'Gara, so pardon the pun, but I'm sure he'll be trying. You're Busy, very consistent, 10 stone 12, nice weight in the middle of the handicap. Should relish the 3 miles on the good ground, so I think that one's going to run a very, very big race. Number 17, You're Busy. Dangers, number 11, Fairwood Bob, and number 20, Sunway. Now the 4:45, this is the amateur maiden, and this race has been farmed over the years by Dermot Weld, and he's going to play a very big role in it again this afternoon. 2 dangers in the race, I think here. Number 1, Caesar's Song, trained by Oliver Brady. A lot of people will be hoping that that one will win for the after-race celebrations in the parade ring. They'll probably go on right up towards the plate if that happens to win. But Oliver is a very inexperienced rider on board in Helen Mullen. So I'm going to pass over Caesar's Song, despite the fact that this horse was placed in the Savile Beg Stakes, no less, at Leopardstown, and a repeat of that run would certainly give him a huge chance in this race. But with an inexperienced rider on board, I'm going to leave this to between Dermot Weld and Willie Mullins. With number 2, Endless Intrigue. Now, he was beaten in a race that probably he would have been expected to win at the Curragh when beaten by Shop DJ. But nevertheless, once this one is laid out from the Rosewell team to go for this race, you would expect this to probably be a very, very strong fancy. The danger, I think, is number 6, Posick. This one ran very well with a big weight at the Curragh behind Jim Bulger's Spelterini, and caught the eye on that occasion. Was a decent enough 2-year-old when only failing on, I think, 3 photo finishes he was beaten in, last of which I think came at Dundalk. But a very good performer, Posick, will be a huge danger to number 2, Endless Intrigue. But that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Endless Intrigue to continue the good run for Dermot Weld and Robbie McNamara. Now the big one is the plate, and of course many in here with chances, but all the talk leading up to it has been, again, Dermot Weld and Willie Mullins. Looks as if they're going to try and dominate the race. They specifically laid out their 2 charges for this race: Majestic Concord, number 11, and number 21, The Moon and Sixpence. 2 very big guns attempting to win this race. Amazingly, champion trainer Willie Mullins has never won the Galway Plate, but he'll have a huge chance to do so with the very consistent The Moon and Sixpence. Set him off in his chasing campaign at Lowley, Wexford and Kilbeggan to ensure that he would have a decent handicap rating, and then preserve that, so he's in now with 10 stone 6. Of course, with Ruby out of action, Paul Townend takes on the ride. Now, he's a very consistent horse, will love the trip, but Majestic Concord from the Wells stable looks to have all the credentials to win the plate. He's a winner here on the flat of the amateur race, was a big fancy for the hurdle, and got into trouble and finished 6th on that occasion, and went to Sligo last time to win a very modest race in preparation, and ran a cracking race in the Chester Cup. So he looks to be in fine fettle to have a crack at this race. Another one with a big chance, I think, is number 8, Cúna Gray. He's a previous winner of the Galway Hurdle, and ran over hurdles last time to sharpen him up. He likes very good ground, he likes the track, and horses tend to win here, tend to win again. Cúna Gray, I think, number 8, got a huge chance each way, but the 2 I think that will dominate the race are number 11, Majestic Concord, and 21, The Moon and Sixpence. There are English challengers, 13 Grand Slam Hero and 17 5 Dream from the Paul Nicholl stable, but just by any chance that the reserve who won last night, Invisible Man, may get in. He was a very impressive winner, wouldn't have taken too much out of the way he won. He jumped magnificently, but he probably won't get into the race, but I'd give him every consideration if he did. But I have to go with Majestic Concord to win the plate for Dermot Weld, again, who's having such a fine meeting. Now back to the flat races then, to finish off the plate day. And in the 6 o'clock, this is the tote rollover handicap over 1.5 miles a furlong.